It is a wonderful Thursday morning, and thank you so much for joining us on Morning Rush and make us part of your morning routine. Now, of course, by now you are sitting by the breakfast table or, just somewhere comfortable. You're having your breakfast or you're having a cup of coffee and you're flipping through the newspapers and you're watching Morning Rush, of course. Now, it is the curtain raiser to the weekend, so that's great. Like, what plans do you have for the weekend? I mean, tomorrow is Friday. We start Ipapo. Let us know what your plans are. The feedback platforms are the Zim Papers TV Network Facebook page or at ZTN Prime on Twitter, at ZTN Prime on Instagram. I want to know what you're doing for the weekend, so please do let us know. Now, when you are in the spotlight, it does come with a certain level of responsibility. Others would choose to ignore it, while others embrace it entirely and realize that they are the people that society is looking up to, especially those who feel as though they may have no voice. They may not be able to communicate effectively how they feel or how they feel society is treating them. This is where our artists, our musicians, our painters, our actors, actresses come into play. They have that responsibility to let us know what it is that's going on in society, inform us on whether it should be happening or it shouldn't, and, kind of be the driving forces behind social movements for better. Now, my guest today is one of those artists who has fully embraced the role of changing the narrative, the way that society treats people. And of course, he will be taking us through how his mind works when he's doing a lot of this programming. Now, last year he did release a single that was entitled Moodha, and it looks at the issue of how you're treated when somebody that is close to you, somebody that you love, someone that cared for you passes on. That is just one of the issues that come up in society often, and it leaves a heavy mark on especially those who have to deal with it. So I am speaking, of course, to Moodha this morning. Moodha, should I say? How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Just take us back to where you started off musically. Or is it something that came up later in life?
I grew up in the rural area. Down Chipinge, where my mom comes from. So I was always in these school dramas, school choirs, but I mainly took part in Mchongo. You know Mchongo? Yeah, traditional dance. So that's where my art started building up.
And how do you think this background impacted the artist that you are today?
I think it really has a very big role that it gave me in my artist life, given the fact that somehow you'll be a bit different from someone who grew up somewhere else, like in town. So every step, everything that you do, you always have that strong rural background or that too much Shona in you.
I don't think we would say too much Shona, but we'd put it like that. But also, when we listen to your music, there's a certain level of depth to it, which I think comes from that, because you have a deeper understanding of and while the issues may remain the same, you are a bit more exposed to it, because a lot of these issues are very big issues, especially in rural areas. What were some of the things that you would say?
Yeah, when you are a kid, you are told to go to the Kumunda and do some work. You always think that no, this is not right. You're told to go Kumombe, Fudza Mombe. You always think that this is not right. So when you grow up, you learn to understand that no, it was right. Yeah. So I wouldn't really say there was something that was amiss on that. I would say it was an experience of growing up. Yeah.
You are I think one of the artists that I would term as very socially conscious. You pay attention to the things that are happening in society. Why is that?
I was just taught to give an eye to everything when growing up, so that you don't bump into a tree when you're walking. you just have to be looking. Yeah. So at most when things happen, you should be there eyesight wise. Yeah.
As an artist, is it important to be highlighting in society?
Yeah, it is. For instance, the drug abuse that's happening right now around the world or around the country. it's very important to be talking or singing about that or highlighting about that. Why? Because you might save someone's life. Yeah, so here and there you need to open that ear and translate it into another language that someone is going to understand and use for the rest of their lives. So yeah, it's important.
You speak about drug and substance abuse, and that is a very topical issue at the moment, because a lot of the youth are falling into this trap of drug and substance abuse. In Zimbabwe, it's not something that was very common, Kudara. We had our issues here and there, but the scale that it's on now has become rather alarming. As musicians, apart from just, singing about it, how else do you think artists should be involved in spreading the message against drug and substance abuse?
So far, the biggest thing that's there with musicians is just to sing. Unless otherwise we can do those road shows in different areas, trying to educate people about it, entertain them first, of course, that's what they want. But at most, there has to be some program that deals with that. Maybe in the near future we are going to have something like that lined up. Yeah, but it's really a pressing issue that should be well attended and very soon. Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit more about your music, the direction that you're hoping to take in the future. What should people be expecting from you as an artist?
Other than, us musicians, we always promise fireworks.
Please don't promise fireworks.
Well, I'm not going to promise that, but I'm going to promise that I'll be doing my best to let it out, like what I have, so that other people can enjoy it. Because my genre of music is not that music that can just come out in the morning and in the afternoon everyone knows it. So at least slowly getting there, but still it's going to be good music. That I promise, yeah.
Now, before we watch the video to Moodha, please tell us what was the inspiration behind that particular song and the video.
Moodha is a song that I wrote watching the background of those people who are left by parents, or maybe someone is left by the spouse, and everyone else wants just to take the stuff that's left behind and leave the people, the deceased, to like suffer. So I just came up with that song because I watched a family that was close to me that had that situation, and the song just came to me. So yeah, it's about inheritance in a situation that most people just want those cars, they want those houses, they want everything else other than to look after the deceased. Yeah, the family is just left alone. So Moodha was inspired by that. Yeah.
Now here's a look at the video that we are speaking of, Moodha.
Makava wezera marwadzo kuvaya vaida kunyaradzwa mukati ndezve hama yenyu muchivasiya pachenaka. Ahoi ine